Hello, and welcome to No Sleep Tonight. Before we begin, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps this channel grow and keeps these true horror stories coming. Alright, let's dive into 3 unsettling road trip stories you'll never forget. The Rest Stop Stranger. I'd been driving all day, trying to push through the night to save time. It was just after midnight when I finally admitted I needed a break. The next rest stop sign felt like relief. When I pulled in, the first thing that hit me was the silence. No trucks idling, no vending machines humming, no other travelers stretching their legs. Just empty asphalt and the faint buzzing of a broken light. There was only one other car in the entire lot, parked far away, under that dead streetlight. The windows looked black. Could have been empty, could have been someone sleeping inside. I couldn't tell. I parked near the building, locked my doors, and headed inside. The bathroom lights flickered, the air smelled stale. I splashed water on my face, stared at myself in the mirror, told myself I'd be fine. Just a quick stop. When I stepped back outside, my stomach flipped. That car, the one at the far end, wasn't there anymore. It was parked directly next to mine, and the driver's seat was empty. The entire lot was silent. Too silent. My ears were ringing from the quiet. I climbed into my car quickly, shoved the lock down, and gripped the steering wheel. That's when I heard it. The crunch of gravel. Slow, heavy, getting closer. A man appeared from behind my car. He didn't hurry. He didn't glance around like someone caught doing something wrong. He moved with this calm, steady confidence, like he'd done it before. He walked around my car slowly, dragging his fingernails across the metal. I could hear the scratching as he circled. Every step felt louder than it should have. He stopped at the passenger door, tugged the handle once, then again, harder. The whole car shook. When it didn't open, he leaned forward until his face was right against the glass. His breath fogged the window as he stared in at me. No expression, just staring. I couldn't move. For a second I was frozen, caught in that eye contact through the glass. Then instinct kicked in. I slammed the car into drive and floored it, tires screeching across the empty lot. I didn't stop for nearly 40 miles. When I finally pulled over at a gas station, my hands were still shaking so hard I could barely hold the phone to call the cops. The dispatcher wasn't surprised. She told me the same car had been reported at several rest stops that month. Always the same thing. Always after midnight. Always pulling up right beside people who parked alone. I never stopped at another rest stop after dark. And even now, years later, I still hear that sound in my head. His fingernails scratching across my car as he circled. The wrong hitchhiker. It was late afternoon. The kind of long, empty stretch of road where the landscape never changes. Just asphalt, dirt, and heat shimmering off the horizon. That's when I saw him. A man standing by the side of the highway with his thumb out, a backpack at his feet. He looked ordinary, mid-30s maybe. Worn clothes, sunburned face. Nothing about him screamed danger. I slowed down. I don't know why. Maybe guilt, maybe boredom. Maybe just the thought that I'd want someone to stop for me if I were stranded out here. So I pulled over. He opened the door and slid into the passenger seat. The first thing I noticed, the backpack was gone. The one I saw sitting at his feet a second ago wasn't there anymore. I asked where he left it. He looked straight ahead, smiled and said, "I left it where it belongs." That was all. At first, he was quiet, too quiet, but then he started asking me questions. Was I traveling alone? How far was I going? Did anyone know my route? The way he asked wasn't casual. It felt like he was ticking boxes in his head. Then he leaned back and said something that chilled me. He asked if I ever thought about how easy it would be for someone to vanish out here. Miles of empty desert. No cameras, no witnesses, just gone. I tried to laugh it off, said something like, "That's a creepy thought." But he didn't laugh. Every mile felt longer. The silence between us got heavier. My throat was dry, my palms slick on the wheel. Finally, a gas station appeared. Run down, one pump, a single flickering light over the store. I told him I needed to stop for gas. I pulled in, left the engine running, and went inside. My heart was hammering in my ears. I told the clerk, quietly, that the guy in my car was making me uncomfortable. Asked him if he could step out with me. We walked back outside together, but the passenger seat was empty. The hitchhiker was gone. No door slam, no sound, no sign of where he went. The clerk just looked at me and shook his head. "You're not the first," he said. "People around here pick him up all the time." Same story. He never stays long. I never forgot the way he said that. Like he already knew I'd see the man with the backpack again if I kept driving those roads. The car that followed us. It was the middle of summer, and my best friend and I were driving cross-country. We had been on the road for hours, taking turns behind the wheel. By the time it was my turn, it was late, maybe close to midnight. The highway stretched out in front of us like an endless ribbon. No towns, no gas stations, not even other cars. Just black desert and the two beams from our headlights. We hadn't seen another car in a long time, so when I noticed headlights in the rearview mirror, I didn't think much of it. But 30 minutes later, those same headlights were still there. Same distance, same speed. They didn't pass. They didn't fall back. Just there. An hour passed and nothing changed. I tested it. I eased off the gas, dropped under the speed limit. The headlights slowed too. I pressed down harder, went 10 over. They stayed locked right behind us. By now, my friend had noticed too. He sat forward in his seat, staring at the side mirror. Neither of us said much, but we were both thinking the same thing. When finally he said, "That car's following us." I wanted to deny it, but there was no other explanation. Nobody sticks behind another car that perfectly for more than an hour, unless they're doing it on purpose. We decided to try something. At the next exit, I pulled off. A smaller road curved away from the highway. The car followed. Every turn I made, every little change in speed, the car copied exactly. At that point, my friend leaned over and said, "Don't stop. Whatever happens, just don't stop." I gripped the wheel so tight, my hands were sweating. After what felt like forever, we finally saw a glow up ahead. A truck stop, bright lights, semis lined up in the lot, and a small diner still open. I didn't hesitate. I pulled in fast, parked near the entrance, and we both got out and walked straight inside. Neither of us looked back until we were behind the glass. From the diner window, we could see the car sitting at the far end of the lot. It didn't park near us, didn't pull up to a pump. It just idled there, headlights on. 10 minutes went by, then 15. The car never moved. Finally, after nearly 20 minutes, it pulled away. Not toward the diner, not toward the gas pumps, just back onto the highway, disappearing into the dark. We wrote down the plate number and reported it. Later, police told us it matched a vehicle from an attempted abduction case in a nearby county. we finished the trip, but from that night on, we refused to drive after dark. And even now, years later, if I see a car sit behind me too long on an empty road, I feel that same knot in my stomach because I know exactly how it feels to be followed. These are just 3 stories, but they prove one thing. You don't need ghosts or monsters for horror. Sometimes the scariest part of a road trip is who you might meet along the way. Thanks for watching No Sleep Tonight. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, sleep well.